Welcome everyone to the third episode of Main Quest Optional, the D&D podcast where insanity flies and we make our poor DM cry. I'm Robert. Here with me today we have our wonderful DM double.
Hi guys, I am the DM of this homebrew world. I hope you enjoy.
And as always, we have our amazing players here with me today.
Hi, I'm Jay. I'm going to be playing Rain, the ever-loving wood elf, the character that I play. I'm a cleric. That's the word I was looking for, and brain farted. Keep that in.
Cobb here. I'll be playing Marcellus, a human druid.
I'm Chelsea, and I'll be playing Saoirse O'Clery, a fairy druid.
And once again, I'm Robert, and I will be playing Crosswire, the Warforge. So, Jay, why don't you take it away with what happened on the last episode of Main Quest Optional?
As the group falls and the airship Talon, the now former flagship of Serene, crumbles around them, Varrock appears and slows the party's descent with a featherfall spell. He also tells them to head west to the rails. The reprieve is short as giant vultures being ridden by gnolls attack the group as they fall. As an air battle commences, Rain manages to put some of the attackers to sleep. Marcellus, ever the man of few words, deals massive damage to the enemy. Crosswire, ever the blunt instrument of war, turns friends into foes as gnolls and giant vultures alike become projectiles towards their fellows. The non-flyers of the group manage to secure the giant vultures as mount, Crosswire after throwing his mount as a weapon. The group manages to link up with the two other groups of crew that managed to fall safely to the ground after fending off enemies of their own. This group is led by Captain Adrix of the Pale Guard, and the group is carrying the unconscious but alive body of Admiral Aralani. The party scrounges what they can from the wreckage and proceeds west to the rails as two airships from Serene are moving towards the site of the dragon attack. The dragon, Stormweaver, is a gargantuan, ancient blue dragon and has been in battle with Admiral Aralani and her forces for quite some time. Another unknown and powerful enemy emerges to the party.
Double, I throw it to you then.
Thank you. So, you guys find yourself in the wreckage of the Talon. You have already done some scavenging, more or less, of what could be used and is salvageable. You have, I believe, 8 Dragonborn in total. You have the name of 2 of them, Admiral Aralani, who is currently unconscious on a stretcher, as well as Captain Adrix, a gold Dragonborn from the Pale Guard. You're not sure what that is or what that means, but probably something important. And you guys know that you are heading west. Fortunately, from your aerial view, you know which direction that is, and that is towards the Sea of Dreams, which you learned is inhabited by a militant group of Tritons. So, it's probably a few minutes past noon, past the sun's zenith. What are you guys doing?
Well, I don't know about you all, but I'm a little bit wiped from that battle. Perhaps we should move away from the site and rest for a short period of time.
Would be most wise. I think I blew a piston on that last fight.
Resting would be good. Marcellus is going to look westwards. Just try and look around for some place to rest.
Make a perception check, please.
That is a nat 1.
There's a lot of sand. You see a lot of sand. It's coarse. It's rough. Kind of gets everywhere.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but is there not a city close by, Double?
There was via airship. That it was close via airship, not necessarily via walking.
Not something we can just waltz into, is what you're saying.
No, probably not.
Okay.
The ones that have seen the ocean as well as your current position, you can roll me an investigation check to try and piece together how long it will get from your current position to where you think the rails are, which is essentially on the west coast.
I got a 16.
16? Okay.
I got a natural 20, which is weird.
Okay.
Hell yeah.
This dice is weird.
Get out of the system.
And then
What was
20.
it again? Investigation?
Yes. Putting it together.
14.
14?
Yeah, so that's 22.
Rain, what did you get? I'm sorry.
I think I got an 8.
An 8. Okay. And then quick, Saoirse, what did you get again?
14.
14. All right, yeah. Saoirse, Crosswire, and definitely Marcellus. You are pretty sure, depending on which way you go, but if you guys kind of go in a direct line, it'll probably take you around 15 days to get to where you're needed to. Yes, this is a very large area. Also, there's dunes and other geography that might come up and be in the way.
All right, everyone. Marcellus is going to turn to the group. It's going to take potentially more than 2 weeks to get there. I don't believe we have enough rations, or even if we do, we can't really do it in this condition. So, any suggestions?
2 weeks to the ocean? Or to the city?
To the ocean?
Oh my.
Yes.
You hear Captain Adrix speak up. Fortunately for all of you, we have a map. So we can more or less guide ourselves to a good location. Wherever you're from, time is different here. Or days. 10 days is a week. 3 weeks is a month.
Well, that's not going to get confusing at all.
1 sun, 1 moon. Also, just throwing that out there.
So is going to the city not a good idea?
Going to the city is about, and he's going to roll a check real quick, and I'm also going to look at my map.
For podcast listeners, there's a physical map on the back of Double's wall, and he is now observing it.
Yeah, it's about 25 days to get to Serene.
Oh, okay. So it's going to be closer to get to the ocean. Okay.
And it'll probably shave a few days also. The rails aren't like right on the ocean.
I don't know about rations, but I can create us water.
I can create food and water as well.
Yeah, I can also purify. Yeah, right. Okay. Well, I think we should be okay with that. And
I go to Captain Adrix, and I want to ask something. Is there no way that we can get a faster transportation? No mount or creature, or anything that we can do to increase this pace?
Well, we could have come across something. Most life in the dunes is hostile, and the desert's a little bit different. It's near the rails. It's more shrubland and still hot and arid, but there's rocks and other forms of life. But the dunes are filled with land sharks and sand kegs.
You said sand ticks?
Sand kegs.
Oh, okay. Ticks are disgusting.
Giant
land sharks and sand kegs.
bugs that spit acid,
Any way to avoid those?
preferably. They usually they keep to themselves. They usually have a hive or a colony, whatever you want to call them. If we come across one, we're just run.
Okay.
Duly noted.
Good to know. Is there anything else we should know about these deserts before we depart?
It gets really cold at night. Also, sandstorms are very common. There's a good chance we might get split up. And if there is a sandstorm, hey, he's looking at Saoirse. If there is a sandstorm, I'd recommend walking.
Right. Thank you.
Oh, and then I guess we have to. There's no other option. We have to make it away across the deserts, west.
Well, let's proceed then.
Yeah, we'll go a little bit a ways and then take a rest.
Rain looks around, kind of confused about still being the de facto leader of the group, and it's like just kind of starts walking off.
Yeah,
I follow Rain.
Yeah, and as you guys all kind of make your way for a little bit, you do see the vague silhouettes of airships as they seem to be coming towards you. They're probably days off, but that's kind of all you see currently. There's just a sea of dunes.
So it's coming towards us?
The airships, yes. You saw them last time.
All
I
right.
stick out my thumb and I'm just gonna hold it there for now, and I'm gonna see if I can like wave one of them down so I can like hitchhike. I'm just gonna stick out my thumb.
What are you doing?
It's an old trick that we used back in the day to flag nearby airships.
You gonna be waiting a while there, my friend?
As a warforged, I do not have muscle pain, so
What a strange custom.
All right, well, let's get going. Come on.
Yeah. As you guys continue, you see that the other Dragonborn start to change their attire a little bit. They kind of wrap some cloth around their heads to block off the sun. They're definitely wearing more open and loose clothing. There's a little bit of a breeze. It is, since we're all American, probably in the hundreds. It is very warm and uncomfortable. The only one that seems to have water is Captain Adrix, and he is constantly handing it around to everybody.
You see Marcellus leaning more often on his walking stick, more oftentimes than not. You see that he's pretty much more just drained at this point.
And as you guys continue your voyage to the rails, can somebody roll me a d12?
3.
3. One thing you guys notice as you guys are all continuing is there seems to be tracks. As you crest over a sand dune, there are what seems to be single file tracks of humanoids heading northeast.
can I bend down and use a tactical assessment, one of my superiority dice, and try to see if I can obtain where they might be heading?
Can I help him as well?
Yeah, you can definitely do that. So you'll have advantage.
I just like what information can I glean?
You can make a survival check or perception.
I will make a perception.
Yep, helping with that.
So you will have advantage, Crosswire, and don't forget to add your d8.
25.
25. From what you can attain from these tracks is there's probably about 8 in total. You think that they're definitely humanoid. They seem to be wearing boots of some type, and they seem to be easily gliding through the sand. Just you can tell from their pace that it is fast and quick, and that is what you discern.
I bend down as I'm looking at these tracks. I pick up some sand between my fingers and I rub it together, and I want to relay that back to the party. There's something out here. It's moving fast, too fast.
You mean like fast, like as a machine, or fast as like one of these beast things in here?
I'm not sure. It seems just to be some humanoid creature potentially, but faster than any human should be going.
Then it's best that we get to the ships quickly then. Otherwise, we might not be able to fight this thing. And I don't want to risk it anyway.
We're not headed to the ships, are we?
I didn't think so.
No, we're going through the desert to get to the sea.
Heading west.
Right.
Okay.
The airships were heading to our disaster site, and we were going away from them.
Oh, yeah. Marcellus looks around.
It's all right, buddy.
The heat's getting to me.
I know. Well, we're going to take a rest soon.
Yeah.
Captain Adrix speaks up. I wouldn't be too worried about the tracks. They're probably just traders or merchants. If anything, most of the creatures that live out here are ambush predators. So keep that in mind.
Yeah. Right. Fun.
You see Marcellus just shiver at that. That doesn't make that better.
Would you all like to rest during the night?
Yes.
Depends. Is it safer than the day or what?
No. It's probably more dangerous.
And we wait. What time is it currently? Like, how we looking?
At this point in time, it's probably around it's been a few hours past noon and your aerial combat.
So would we be able to have a nice full rest before nightfall?
You want to have a full rest before nightfall.
I mean, a nice short rest before nightfall.
Yeah, you guys can definitely take a short rest.
I think we should stop here and make camp. Travel by the seat of nights. It'd be colder then. Be able to move quicker.
Yes, but the captain said it'd also be more dangerous. Do we really want to stumble around in the desert at night?
Well, do you want to be sleeping at night and waiting for something to attack you in the back?
I'm comfortable handling myself in the evening, but I don't know about the rest of you or the crew back here.
Fortunately, we can all see in the dark.
Very well.
Marcellus can't, but he has the light spell, so he's fine.
I have a singular torch, so I'll be fine.
I have a trick for that.
Well, do you want to take a short rest now or what, guys?
Yes, let's rest up. We can worry about a longer rest later.
Yeah, as you guys kind of make a little bit of a defensive circle and are kind of resting up, not necessarily breaking or making camp, but there's some wildlife that you guys encounter.
Please describe them in full.
You see what you're pretty sure is some sort of snake, just kind of moving its way through the dune, kind of heading up and down. There is a few birds. You're pretty sure either small vultures, like normal sized vultures, or hawks, or possibly eagles. A little high up to tell, but there's definitely no silhouettes, and they're about around that size.
Okay.
And some other insects and stuff.
Before we take our short rest, Marcellus is going to turn to Saoirse. You said that in the earlier on today that you were able to create several things, yes?
Yeah.
I'm rather new to this druid thing, so how does that work exactly?
What do you mean? Casting a spell?
Oh, I think I'm able to do that. To be honest, I've only been a soldier before. This is all pretty much new territory.
I can help you. I didn't learn very much. I was mostly gifted with this ability. It's inherent. It's just kind of within you. So if it's been given to you, then
Well, I don't think it's been given. I think I always had this power, it's just that this is fairly recent. Like, when I was younger, like around 30, I changed to another creature once. But that was like once. Is that also one thing?
yeah, it's something in my village that our druids we call our wild shape.
Ah,
I guess it's a little bit probably different for me. In the Feywild, we have coming of age rituals, and we're gifted with abilities. I was kind of given this, and it's just something that we know how to do. The main thing that we would study and learn from stuff is nature. We learn from nature, and that's what helps us with our abilities.
Mm-hmm.
I would just say I don't know, I've never been one for a teacher. I'm sorry. Just try to feel more. I'm not one to be a soldier. I am someone who protects my village, but I've never been a soldier. But just try to feel and get in touch with nature.
Thank you.
Yeah. I mean, you're a natural, so it's just something that once you get to be more familiar with it, you'll be great.
Thanks.
Mm-hmm.
Marcellus suddenly remembers that he needs to do something. He will get up, taking the walking stick in hand, and he'll probably go a little bit away, not far away, but probably just under cover somewhere, and just take out his walking stick, stick it to the ground, cast Lily on it, make it appear like a light golden sword, and he'll just try and recite his oaths again.
Okay. So as you guys are just resting for this hour, the Dragonborn are definitely keeping to themselves, speaking in what sounds like a strange dialect of Draconic. Rain, you get pieces of it. It seems to be local, essentially. And the Dragonborn also kind of, some of them have equipment, and they take out just some really easy, portable, basically shade. Just some cloth, and it seems to be attached to some metal poles that are collapsible. And you guys are all provided shade. And the only source of water, once again, is Adrix with his water skin. And he said, ask all of you, are you guys hungry now?
I do not require any food, for I am a warforged, and We do not partake in such sustenance.
Oh, I'm very hungry.
I was gonna say, I'll have his portion.
I'll split it with you.
Sounds like a wonderful plan.
Yes, thank you.
I can help if you need to make more water. I just don't have anything to put it in, but I have some energy left to make some water.
We have some containers. Unfortunately, a lot of water will be wasted, but since it's being conjurated, it won't be too big of a deal.
Yeah, as long as we can get some of it.
We should probably get about. We'll probably get about 6 gallons worth.
That's
fine. I can help with that.
Well, correct me if I'm wrong, but do we not also have the something like the equipment that Nazim gave us?
Yeah, you have your starting equipment.
Yeah. So do we not have like a water skin and some food of our own?
You should. Yes.
I keep forgetting we have that backpack. I don't know why I keep forgetting about it. I'm like, oh, we're skint. All we have is the stuff like that cool stuff that he gave us. I keep forgetting he gave us a backpack. Yeah, I'll fill up everyone's water skin with my create water, except I'm going to destroy water and everyone's going to die of thirst. Kidding. I'm going to create water. That's like 10 gallons. So yeah, I'll just fill up everyone's with bye-bye spell slot.
Might as well ask, is there any paper in that kit?
I don't believe there's any parchment. Adrix starts to begin to cast a spell, and within a few seconds, he creates a lot of food. I think it's I don't remember what it's a lot like rice. I think it's called tack or something. I forget what the actual. Yeah, it is tack. And there's a ton of it, as well as they take out some water skins of their own, and they're all filled up as well. And you see a lot of water just appear on the sand and immediately start to evaporate.
As my comrades eat, I stand out to the side and look at them, and I kind of think to myself, what would it be like to eat? I do not need sustenance, for I am a warforge. I do not need sustenance, for I am a warforge. And he just repeats that to himself.
Marcel's gets up, sits down next to him, and just hands him a bit of the hardtack. Can you taste anything?
I take the hardtack and I try to cram it into the slot where my mouth is, and just crumbles to pieces as it hits the side of my face. It wasn't always this way.
That's really unfortunate. There's lots of good food in Serene. I'll be missing out.
So you weren't always this way?
Not always.
You are flesh and blood.
Yes, at one point.
All right.
I think the important thing to remember about yourself is you may be not entirely human or whatever you may have been before, but there's still a soul there, and you can still enjoy the sustenance of the soul. Don't forget that about yourself.
Look up to Rain. That's a wise way to put it. Leader.
I will chop you with this axe, I swear.
Yeah, leader.
Whatever you say, leader.
You just see Rain look down and start eating the food, not making eye contact at anybody.
It's pretty bland, but it is nourishing. Doesn't have any real flavor or anything to it. The rest of the hour, do you guys want to do anything, or are you guys waiting for nightfall?
Yeah, we'll just take a short rest and then keep going, right?
I would be good with the short rest, but also I'm an elf, so a short rest is a long rest for me.
Oh, you needed 4 hours.
4 hours. Short rest is an hour.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
For shame.
Did you already do a long rest?
No, I didn't touch anything.
Oh, okay.
I was going to get clarification first.
Yeah. Well, Sarah will say while everyone's eating and say, I'm not really sure where we landed on moving, but I'm always one for just continuing on our journey the way we started. So just taking a short rest and keep going.
Yeah.
Would be most wise.
Captain Adrix, if
Yes.
we continue at night, what do you suppose the probability is that we will be attacked.
I can't answer that. We're a decent sized group. There's 13 of us. If we run into a creature's territory pretty high, I don't think we'll be hunted or anything.
Hmm.
All right. Then yes, let's rest for a short while and continue.
We're in pretty significant Serenian territory, so none of the gnolls will be out and about.
While we're eating, I just make sure that my owl, who's still with us, gets some peckins.
Okay.
I go over to Saoirse, and I look down at the owl. What is the name of this fine creature?
Oh, this little cutie. Her name's Bunny.
Yeah, I see him.
Sure.
I put my arm out.
Go on, Bunny. He's fine. She hops over to you. She's white. She's got like the white with the light brown, like a spotted barn owl, I think.
Quick question. Is it nighttime now, or is it...
No, now it's probably around 4.
All right.
Yeah, and you guys begin your trek again, heading west. Nothing.
Short rest.
Yep, you guys all finish your short rest. Dragonborn crew breaks their mini camp that they kind of set up, and the warmth and love of the sun is ever beating down on you. And nothing happens for quite some time. Nothing significant. And the only thing that was significant during this first day was the tracks that you've encountered, but you don't come across any others. The dunes are constantly shifting and changing as the wind flows through them. Your tracks constantly being covered. And you guys want to continue through the night, or do you want to stop at night?
I'd like to stop at night and...
I would guess that it'd be beneficial to rest before daybreak and continuing on the heat again.
Yeah, I think we'd be able to get a long rest in before the sun breaks. Might be able to go for a couple hours before the sun gets too hot in the morning.
It's up to you, but if it is more dangerous at night, I'd rather be slightly more diligent.
Well, we're definitely going to have watches. We're not going to have everyone be asleep.
True.
Okay, then I call the rest of the Dragonborn, and I want to the Dragonborn over, and I want to create a 8-hour watch patrol with them. Okay, schedule.
Yeah, Captain Adrix already has it scheduled out and planned out.
I like this guy.
Yeah, you 4 just rest. Or rest as long as you need to.
Before we do that, though,
We'll be taking shifts.
because of the short rest, I got my superiority dice back. I want to do another tactical assessment to see if I can locate if we're in some animal's territory before we take the long rest.
Yeah, for sure. Make a survival check, please.
Okay. That is 18.
You haven't seen any carrion. You haven't seen any scavengers that would suggest that they're eating food from a leftover kill. You haven't come across any significant places for an animal to really shelter during the heat of the day. So you're pretty sure you're just kind of in no man's land. And you're not in any animal territory.
Sweet. I relay that to the group.
All right, that's good.
And this time they break up, the Dragonborn break out a little bit more of a camp. They actually have large, they're basically yurts, just large tents. There's only one of them that you guys can all rest in. And there is they put bedding essentially on the floor, just like a very large blanket for everybody to sleep on. And in one little area, there is a few of the Dragonborn that are cleaning their weapons. There is a section that seems to have the leftover hardtack. If you just want a midnight snack, there's a lot of it. And the Dragonborn are definitely keeping themselves. There hasn't been any stirring from Aralani as well. The other soldier or pale guard has not removed their helmet, and they have not left Aralani's side.
Before he rests, Rain's gonna walk over to the Admiral and converse with this pale guard.
Okay.
Evening. How is she doing?
She's doing okay.
Any signs of coming out of her unconsciousness?
I don't know. I'm not skilled in that particular area of expertise.
I have some learning in that area. Would you be okay if I were to try to make an assessment and see if perhaps we can, bring her about?
You want to awaken her?
I don't know that I want to awaken her. I just want to see if there's anything underlying that maybe we should be concerned about that she can't tell us right at this moment. I don't think I could bring her out of unconsciousness, but I would like to see what we could do to bring that back naturally.
Okay. If you feel like you can help, by all means.
Well, I don't believe it could hurt to look. And I'd like to make a medicine check.
Please do.
Nat 1.
Oh no.
Fearless leader there.
What is it total though?
Total 4.
Total 4. Okay. Even with that, you're not being from a kind of isolationist village with just elves. You're not too familiar with Dragonborn physiology. The one thing you do know for sure is you're positive that she doesn't have any underlying issues. You did see the Dragonborn heal her, and you yourself also healed her with healing magic. So whatever happened, whatever reason she's asleep, she's asleep. But you don't have to worry about her bleeding out or have internal bleeding or anything like that. Even with your 4, you're not sure how long she's going to be asleep for or how she got knocked out or why she's knocked out with your roll. But you're pretty positive about that.
And turns back to the pale guard and, well, she appears more or less healthy. Is this something that she's done before where she remains in this state for extended periods of time?
I honestly don't know. This is my first time stationed. Well, was my first time stationed on the Talon.
That must be quite an honor.
It was. It is. There were more guards, but we all didn't make it.
Well,
And they take off their helmet, and you see a white dragonborn. They are tailless. What is your name?
I'm Rain Tindu.
Rain. I am Sasha.
Sasha, it is a pleasure to meet you.
Nice to meet you as well.
I can appreciate somebody who takes an oath of such magnitude as yours.
Thank you. It's not an easy task to be part of the Pale Guard. And I'm sure you don't even know what that means.
I mean, I understand devoting yourself to another cause and the toll that can take, and I feel as if a guard is semi-explanatory. If you would care to inform me, I believe we'll be traveling together for some time.
We are paladins of devotion, devoted to many different things, most of it being the law and order that Bahamut brings upon the world and worlds.
I too serve my god in a slightly different manner. I've served Saloon by bringing the peace and comfort of life to those who need it, and in defending those against the evils that would prey against it. While we do it in different ways, I don't feel that we're that different.
She's actually going to roll a religion check to see if she knows who Saloon is. Is she a goddess of twilight, essentially?
Yes, more or less.
Elven?
She's worshipped by many, many different kinds of people. My village, we broke away because we major elven clans and families to focus solely on the worship of that, and we were slightly ostracized for it because in elven lore, it's such devotion to a singular cause can often be seen as unwise or foolhardy.
It would make sense.
She has many worshippers around the land. I just hope to make more of them around the land.
Well, Serene is a place of devoted people. I'm sure you can find some followers there.
All in due time. For now, I'm focused on getting us out of the desert and assisting in any way that I can.
Yes.
If there's anything that you need from our party, don't hesitate to ask.
Thank you.
Peace. I'm gonna go rest for a short period. We can continue.
She nods her head and puts her helmet back on.
Rain just proceeds and sits down like next to the entrance of the tent, not necessarily inside of it. Crosses his legs, and you guys just kind of see him take his axe and in one hand, and he's just kind of holding it and sitting cross-legged on the ground. Closes his eyes.
Would anybody like to help with the watches at all? You don't have to. They already said it was covered.
Yeah, Marcellus is going to do that.
Yeah, Saoirse would like to as well. She's going to take out her bedroll because she has a backpack that has a bedroll in it. I totally remember that now because it's going to get cold. So she's definitely going to have her bedroll out and sleeping in that. But she would she'd like to be a part of the watch.
Okay.
I only need to sleep 6 hours instead of 8, so I will do a 2-hour watch.
Same thing. Rain will participate after the 4 hours of meditation.
Everybody's participating in the watches.
Yeah, we pull our weight here. We don't just eat their food, drink their water, and just sleep in all day.
Okay. All right. Well, fortunately for you, though, as Crosswire has already kind of discovered, this is just no man's land. Just quiet piece of dune sea. Your guys' watches are uneventful. It does get pretty cold, probably high 30s, low 40s. They do offer extra coverings for anyone who would like them. And the last 2 watches are going to be done by Rain and Crossfire. First watch will be done by Marcellus, and second watch will be done by Saoirse. Crossfire, what are you doing before you go to bed?
I want to move across. I move past the bedding, and I kind of want to position myself on the other. I want to position myself with Rain at the other side of the tent near the door. I kind of just want to put my hammer into the ground head first, and then just kind of stand there as almost like a scarecrow. And you see the kind of the blue light that emits from the crevices of my armor. My eyes dim slightly. But there's still a faint glow, as if I can almost hear you and be alert in some sense to what's going on in my surroundings.
Nice. You got 2 sentinels right outside the Urt. So on first watch, we have Marcellus. Marcellus, what is it? Would you like to do anything on your watch?
Marcellus is going to take his walking stick, place it into the ground, cast slowly on it to make it appear like a sword, and he's going to kneel down and just say, he's going to recite several oaths that he has, all the while just making sure that no one else can actually hear him. We're just trying to make sure that people are asleep.
Most people are asleep. There are 2 other Dragonborn with you on this watch, but they're just kind of patrolling around the Urt.
He takes the staff, changes the staff back to like a wooden staff shape, and just looks up into the sky. It's nighttime, yes?
Yes, it is nighttime now. The stars are out.
Stars, anything else?
No, there's no clouds. There's just stars and dark, inky, blue canvas like the night sky.
He, to himself, Marcellus is going to hum.
Okay.
That's all.
All right. And like I said, there's nothing of significance that happens on your watch. Saoirse, on your watch, is there anything you would like to do?
While keeping an eye with, I'm assuming other Dragonborns are on watch with us as well.
Yeah.
It's not just us, right? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so she's like, okay. I'm just going to look out for nighttime critters.
Okay. Anything in particular, or?
No, she's just here to observe and learn the environment.
Okay. There aren't too many critters around you guys. You guys are a big group. You guys are making noise. You could stealth around if you want to try and find something.
Yeah, I'll go maybe like 30 feet away from camp and stealth, and then take a look and see if I see any things that are like, like they burrow in the sand.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, or just like maybe it's probably not too many mammals, but yeah, just kind of seeing like the reptiles and stuff that are around, or any nighttime birds or bats, or yeah.
Make a check, please. A perception.
Okay. What type of like plants is it just like straight desert, or are we starting to get in that like cactusy rock grass area? This is just
straight desert.
We're in the dunes right now. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm just looking out for any sort of like those snakes or whatever.
You guys are currently camped out in a little like dune valley.
Okay. So snakes or beetles or whatnot. So what was that again?
Perception. As you're looking around.
18 total.
18. There is what looks like a decent sized spider, probably the size of a small dog, kind of burrowing. Yes, it's very big.
Whoa.
How small? Because some dogs are like really small.
Probably like a foot across.
Ooh.
It looks like a tarantula. You're not entirely sure. That's the only thing significance. There isn't any other snakes or lizards or birds.
Right. Okay. I'll just sit and just watch as it goes along and try to just learn its behavior and its details and just be fascinated. And then after some time, remember that I'm supposed to be on a watch. Oh, and run back to my spot and continue to keep watch.
Okay.
But mainly just looking for other animals, but she doesn't find any.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Anything else on that watch or no?
No, that was it.
Okay. And then we have Rain on third watch.
You said we're in a little dune valley, right?
Oh yeah, you're in a little dune valley.
Okay. I'm just going to proceed to the top of the dune and just kind of sit cross-legged and face the camp and kind of look at everything around it and just basically keep the watch. Is the moon out?
The moon is not out.
Okay. You're just going to see me sitting there glancing weirdly at the sky. I mean, none of you guys do that, but that's what he's doing, and just kind of glancing, a little perturbed.
Anything else you'd like to do on your watch?
Nope, nothing specific.
Yeah. And then last but not least, we have Crossfire.
You hear like a little like Apple computer starting noise as I wake up. Like the light comes back to my eyes at full volume. Remind me, but Rain, because he only had he has a shorter actual rest time for a long rest. He's still awake on my watch, correct?
If it's up to him, but he could still be at the top of the dune, or he could just be chilling around in the camp.
No, I'll stay at the dune until it looks like there's a bunch of movement going on in the camp.
You probably have a few hours till dawn.
Okay. I look to the Dragonborn and I kind of get the feeling that they got things covered. So I make my way to Rain on top of the hill.
Okay.
Interrupting?
Yes.
Do you mind some company or
No, sorry. I was distracted. Please sit.
You sure? Because like you just said like yes when I said are you interrupting? Just I don't know.
I was lost in thoughts of home in this strange land, and you'll please forgive me.
I don't blame you. It has been quite a weird day. It has been between prison, airships, blue dragons, and never-ending deserts.
Yes, if you would have asked me a day ago if I would have been here, I would have probably said you were crazy. And a month ago, I probably said you were even more crazier for thinking this was possible. But I take it all in stride. There's a purpose here. I feel it.
I get the same feeling. It's something of a greater purpose.
I think each of us has our own purpose to find if you follow what I'm trying to say, I guess. What you need to find may be different than what I need to find. We'll get there. So far, you have all been very good traveling companions. I see no ill intent. I see honest people. Some possibly looking for a change. Some just seeming to love where they are. and some still trying to figure out maybe who they are. It's an interesting dynamic, to be sure.
I'll travel with companions for some time.
I will be quite frank, I've never traveled with companions before.
And we are one and the same.
Indeed. Kindred spirits.
I look off into the night sky, feeling not alone anymore.
Rain is just gonna kind of side eye and be like, Saloon's blessing is upon you, friend. Even if you don't believe, he's still there. And that'll be the end of the conversation.
Okay. Yeah. And a few more hours pass, and the sun starts to crest upon the east. And it is starting to warm up a little bit. And everybody starts to get up and break camp. And they do it very quick, very efficiently. Are you guys going to continue, or?
Yeah.
Yeah. No reason not to.
Push on until we find something of note to send us off in another direction, I suppose.
Keep pushing until it starts pushing back.
Yes. A day has passed, yes?
A day, correct.
All right. One down,
And-
14 more to go.
Correct. Can I please get another D12 roll?
I got it.
All right.
You should not have got it.
What'd you get?
5.
Okay. The next couple days are very uneventful. Nothing significant really happens. Saoirse, you can roll me a D4 for how many new animals you have found in these next 2 days.
Love it. D4.
Correct. A D4.
A, 1, uno,
Un.
uno,
Un? Okay. With the 1, you
One.
find a... You
Got me
got
French
it.
here.
Got it. Thank
I
you.
don't think I got French in my languages. I'm in Giants, no French. My bad.
eins.
All right. Do you want an animal?
I do.
Okay. You find a herd of, I believe, wild asses.
Yes. That's what I get for all that at once.
Mm-hmm.
Sweet. So they just like what we as people know look like asses.
Correct.
Donkeys. Okay. Cool.
I guess they're not mules. They're donkeys.
I gotcha.
Yeah. And this is day 4, where this next somewhat event happens. You guys are still in the dunes. And if any of you do any more, specifically Saoirse, aerial views,
Yeah, she'll be doing that off and on throughout the day.
Mhm.
Yeah.
the dunes last for about 5 days before it gets to the more Mojave, arid, rocky cactus shrublands that you need to be in, where the rails are. And what is everybody's passive perception?
15.
You know, level 3, so just a decent 21.
Jesus
Yeah,
criminal.
19. Yeah.
Yeah, I just looked at that and went, I'm sorry. How?
I mean, 15. Okay. Crosswire, I don't even care what your passive is.
Okay, wow. Yeah, you can see that I'm struggling to find that. And
I know.
it is 12.
Yeah, that is why we have 3 wizard casters, or wisdom casters. So
Yeah, observant. I have the
Yeah,
observant feat. Yeah,
I got a
Yeah.
nice 0 in wisdom, so that's more than great
yeah.
for me.
I guess more or less at the same time, Saoirse and Marcellus, and maybe a second or 2 after Rain, you guys all spot when you're coming down a dune, what looks like a few mummified corpses in the valley, in Little Dune Valley. There's actually a little bit of desert grass here as well, but the corpses definitely look mummified.
He's been here for a while.
There's what you can see are what look like 3 different hands from 3 different bodies, just kind of breaking out from the sand, looking like they're reaching up.
It's a bit strange.
I see this tour now.
As The Dragonborn are all kind of form a circle around you, probably about 10 feet back from the three of you. And they all actually have their hands on their weapons. They're not, they haven't unsheathed anything, but they're definitely wary. And Captain Adrix walks up to the four of you as you guys are kind of doing your archaeological dig.
Anything to glean from this?
As you pull him out?
No. From the captain. You said he was coming out.
Gotcha.
He said anything to glean from this. Anything we can glean from this.
No. I mean, people die out here all the time. Sand's constantly shifting.
How far away are these bodies?
You guys are surrounding them. The three, Rain, Jay, and Saoirse went down to investigate. Jay. Rain, Marcellus, and Saoirse.
So I'm still like I'm off in the back.
You're catching
Yeah,
up.
if you want to be.
Okay, well I want to move forward, and as I do, I want to pick up a rock.
All right, if you can. There isn't any rocks. It's just sand.
Oh. What do I have? I have a water skin. No, I have a mess kit, but I don't eat, so I don't need it. So I just want to throw my mess kit, and yeah, just like I want to like take like a piece of bread or something, or like the lid off of it. I just want to kind of like throw that to see if it's some sort of quicksand.
Okay.
If it does anything.
No, it doesn't. It doesn't seem to. It kind of lands in the sand right next to the bodies. What are the three of you doing? Are you pulling them out, or?
I'm gonna try and get a better idea of so I'm trying to understand if they were really like trying to come, like, or were they getting like quicksand, or were they getting like pulled in? I don't know if that's kind of hard to figure out.
Well, they did say the sand's moving, so they could just be dead. But like the fact that their hands are reaching out probably suggests that some sort of thing put them in there rather than just sand blew over them over time.
I guess she would try to figure out, because it'd be too hard to figure out what she wants to do.
Is Saoirse telling this to everyone, or just thinking about this herself?
So if I'm talking not in my accent, I know it's not super perfect, but if I'm talking in my normal accent, then I'm just kind of talking to the DM, like talking out of character and stuff. Yeah. So I was just trying to tell Double what Saoirse was doing.
Thinking,
yeah.
How big is the lid that I threw? Like how big's that object?
Mess kit. I think it's like. Did you throw the whole kit, or did you just throw?
I took like the lid of it, and I.
I mean, probably like 8 inches long and 6 inches across.
I gotcha. I go to Saoirse. Saoirse, do you maybe want to try landing on top of the lid, see if it's some sort of quicksand?
I'm kind of standing around it right now. It seems to be fine. I'm right next to the body.
He's kind of close to it.
You almost hit me in the head there with the lid there, buddy.
Yeah, Marcellus is going to take a few steps backwards, and he's going to try and do a perception check. But before he does that, he's going to take his walking stick and just rub the holy symbol on it as he casts guidance on himself.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
So what exactly are you looking for?
He is trying to perceive whether or not, essentially, if they're pulled down, or whether or not they just sank down here. Because if he, in his mind, he might think that if they're sank down here, if everybody else is around it, they would also try to be sunk down too. But since they're not, it could be something else entirely.
Okay, yeah, go ahead.
Yep. All right. So +9, plus an 11, and +2 from that. So that's going to be a 22.
From what you can tell with the 22, you would kind of have to put the pieces together, and it would be an investigation check to figure out like how they died and stuff. But from what you can see is, first off, these bodies are mummified, so they've been dead for quite some time. You don't see any clothing around their arms. Nobody's pulled them out yet, I don't believe, correct?
Yeah, we haven't touched the bodies.
Yeah, so the highest they go is a little bit past the elbow, is from what the arms you can see. And it's just skin taut around the bones and whatever's left of whatever meat. There, you do notice on the inside of one of the hands, it seems to be grasping some sort of jewelry or something. But other than figuring out how they died, you're not entirely sure.
Can Marcellus take his walking stick and try and take the jewelry from the hand?
But yeah, it seems to be a amulet. The chain kind of tightly wrapped around it, as well as it's firmly grasped. So you can just kind of see the sun shining off some of the reflected metal. That's what you notice. So you can try and hit it out of the hand, but rigor mortis is definitely a thing.
Yeah, can you do that?
Yeah, roll a hit.
Like beforehand, can you just use Shillelagh so it can act like a spell attack?
No worries.
Yeah. Well, that's an 18 plus a 7, so that's going to be 25.
Yeah. You definitely knock the hand. You hear a few cracking sounds as a bunch of dust and sand explodes from your hit, and the amulet kind of goes skittering across the Dune Valley floor.
And he's just going to try and pick it up with the stick.
Okay. You can see that it is a silver amulet, at least the chain looks to be. The amulet itself seems to be an idol of this. It is also silver, of this bat-like creature with these weird tentacles coming from its mouth.
Hmm.
Do any of us recognize this creature?
You can roll a history, a religion, arcana check.
I'll roll a religion check, which is a 10. Thought it was a 1.
I got a 13.
Okay.
All right. Yeah, Marcellus is going to also try. And his religion is a +2. That's not a lot. That's a 15 plus 2. That's a 17.
Okay. Saoirse, are you going to roll?
No, she's not. She'll have no idea.
Gotcha. You're not entirely, even with the 17 cop, some sort of monster, probably. It doesn't look friendly. It looks definitely malevolent, as well as it just has this evil, off-putting vibe to it.
Evil god thing. Marcellus is going to be familiar with the type of ominous feeling he has with this, and he's just going to turn to one of the Dragonborn and say, you are from this world. Do you know what this thing is?
No, I don't. So the Dragonborn turns to look at another Dragonborn, and they're kind of just shaking their head and start speaking to each other in Draconic, and nobody seems to recognize this. Adrix comes over to you. Does anybody know what this is? It just looks fancy.
No, we don't.
I've learned not to mess with this type of stuff in my youth.
Yeah, I'll hold on to it.
Yeah, Marcellus is going to pass it with his staff.
Okay.
Try not to touch it or anything. I don't know if there's anything on it.
Don't worry, I'll be fine. And then he grabs it, and he doesn't put it on or anything, but he puts it on, puts it inside a little satchel on the side of his hip. Just a leather case.
Is it worth even recovering the bodies at this point, or shall we just move on?
No. Marcellus is going to place his staff down. If possible, DM, cover the bodies with sand.
I get my lid first, or
yeah.
I wanted to think it was quicksand. It wasn't, so I'm just gonna take the edge of my war hammer and just kind of scoot the lid towards me, and then reattach it to my mess kit.
Yeah. Let me look at Druidcraft real quick, because what you really want to do is kind of move earth, which is a cantrip. Mold earth. Mold earth is what you're trying to do.
If we shall leave these three to be, let us leave them in peace.
I appreciate your sentiment. Let's leave the dead. Should not disturb them if there's no need.
Mm-hmm.
I agree. We should just continue on.
Well, the dead's dead. They can't be disturbed anymore, Marcellus says snidely. All right, let's go.
There are undead in this world, so
I'm kind of like holding back the urge to kind of just take them and loot them, but just I'm gonna let it slide this time.
okay.
Saoirse has been doing something this entire time.
Please tell me what Saoirse's been doing.
She's just been trying to figure out if there was an animal involved in this scenario of these humanoids being put under the ground.
You can roll a nature check.
I rolled a natural 1, so that's great. That explains why she's been quiet. She's like, I can't. I don't.
Brain no working.
It's bodies in a dune sea. I mean, sand is almost a liquid. It moves around everywhere. You're not sure. Would anybody like to do anything the rest of this day?
Marcellus is going to try and talk to Saoirse again.
Okay.
Yeah. It seems like you're taking notes of something or trying to look for something. What are you trying to look for?
I'm just looking around. Haven't been in an environment like this before. So remember I was telling you, druids we take from nature, or we not take from nature, but we are a part of nature and attuned to it more than other people. And so I'm just not familiar with this type of environment. And so I'm just observing and learning what I can.
And
I wish I could take notes. Can't wait to find some paper.
for what, per se?
I'm a auditory and visual learner. So seeing things, hearing things, and, writing it down myself helps me learn better. And just because I'm very unfamiliar with these things, it might help me to, reference them with, I like to do little sketches.
All right. You said that this wild shit can change to animals. Have you done that before?
A few times.
Oh, what animals have you changed into?
Oh, all the Fae type animals that Saoirse just begins to list off that Chelsea doesn't know the name of right now. That aren't super familiar and probably sound really weird.
It's super impressive, when Saoirse does this. Like I can't speak for but it's very impressive. Just the amount of names and like she pronounces each one perfectly. It's mind blowing.
Insert woman speaking Gaelic.
Yeah, for the editor, edit note right here. Just record, pay someone online to just put it right here.
Fire dragon, merige dragon, satyr, corrid, hupshil rusilka, shirine, kelpa, eswayr hate, winterlin, glare, leprahan, brownia, kilmelish, dermline, kikling blink dog.
All right. Does anybody else like to do anything on day 4? You have one more day in the sea, the Dune Sea, before you guys hit a different type of environment.
Marcellus is going to recount to Saoirse some of the... He only shifted to 3 animals before. So he's going to recount one of them, which is essentially just like a small wolf type thing.
We have some of those in the Feywild.
Ah, interesting.
They're fun and very useful when trekking.
Have you seen one of those raptors, like velociraptors? We had those in our world.
No, I mean, the closest thing I've seen to a raptor in this world is the little bone raptor that Nazim made. But no, and I believe the birds that we were seeing, some vultures, I believe those are raptors.
All right.
But not big.
All right. Marcellus is going to shift into a axebeak.
Nice.
Oh,
Yes.
cool.
Are you familiar with what an axebeak looks like?
Yes, basically a feathery creature, sort of like a velociraptor, with small arms, large legs, tail, with a beak that sort of symbol looks like akin to an axe, more like a cross between a parrot and a lizard type thing. He just stands.
How big is it? Is it ostrich size, bird size? How big are we talking here?
Emu.
They honestly look like. You guys familiar with Final Fantasy at all? You guys know what chocobos are?
Mhm.
They're really big, like dodo birds / ostriches. These massive beaks, and like Marcel was saying, just covered in feathers.
Yeah, but one difference between there is that Marcellus more or less changed his spectral armor so it fits onto this axe meat.
Wow, that's really cool.
That's sick.
She goes up and tries to like pet him. She flies. That's really cool, Marcellus. I will turn into one as well.
Okay.
I kind of tug Rain on the arm. What the hell's going on with those two?
I think it's a journey of discovery for both of them at this point.
Yeah, like we really hit it on the nose with like that amazing speech we had earlier. Just damn, it truly is a very odd journey.
Saoirse starts pecking at Marcellus and then runs away and starts like running around the group and then like running off in front of the group and then just messing around.
She is going to go to Rain and just literally peck on him, like on his head, essentially trying to nudge him, or at least one or the other, to basically get on him.
Rain looks and goes, "You suggesting I use you as a mount?"
He turns to Crossfire, and he basically just pantomimes himself struggling as if like a weight.
Got it. Yeah.
I really shouldn't have had that extra portion of that rice earlier on, which I did not eat. Just I understand. And I continue to walk.
I appreciate the offer, Marcellus. For now, I would prefer to remain on foot. Should we need to use that in the future, we'll keep that in mind. For now, I believe, whether you'd like to keep that form or not, that we should continue. And he says it loud enough for the group to hear. Mm-hmm. These newfound abilities and is all fun, and being lighthearted is thoroughly enjoyable, but we must keep moving. We don't want to be stuck out here longer than we need to.
Marcellus nods and he just continues walking.
Okay. And
Rain would like to drop back next to Captain Adrix.
Mm-hmm. And as you drop back, you see that he's turning over and looking at the amulet.
What does it say to you?
Nothing good. Definitely worth giving to my betters. They probably know what this is.
Agreed. Would you, if possible, keep me informed of whatever it is that you discover about that? I do feel an ill omen about it.
I can certainly try. I don't know what happens when we get to the rails. You might be shuffled off somewhere. You might get picked up by the people from Seamouth. Or you might head down south to Serene. I don't know what's going to happen.
Well, if our paths continue, please think of me.
Well, you're a cleric, right?
Yes.
Well, eventually you'll be able to send messages across planes and stuff, so you have my permission to always message me. I'll keep you informed.
Thank you. Apparently I have more to learn of my abilities.
There are a lot of devoted people in Serene. I am myself devoted, but I take an oath. Mine isn't. I worship Bahamut, but I don't get my powers from Bahamut.
Understand. If you have anybody amongst your crew that could identify things, before we met up with you at the crash site, I was able to recover a few items that it kind of perplexed me. I'm not sure if there's what the use is.
Yeah.
And we can be walking while this happens.
Yeah. You guys are, everybody's walking and talking. Sasha actually, she has a wand of identify. Go talk to her.
Thank you.
Yeah.
So I drop back to Sasha.
Mm-hmm.
Good to see you again.
Hi, Rain.
Captain Adrix sent me back this way. I recovered some items from the wreckage before we linked up with you a few days back. and
Okay.
I'm curious about what they do. I can sense something about them. I just don't know what it is. Captain Adrix said perhaps you had a wand of identifying.
I do. I recovered it as well. Why don't we do this when we break camp tonight?
Oh, very well. I would hate to distract you from the duties of the day.
Thank you.
Moraine will pace up a little bit, and so he's not infringing, and then just continue pace with the group.
Okay. Anybody else on day 4 would like to do anything? Okay. Rain. Do you have the items again? I don't know if I actually.
Yeah, I got a lot. You said 2 specifically felt magical, and the rest didn't. We'll see how I feel and what Sasha's capable of and willing.
Oh, so we covered a few items last time.
Yeah, because you had the cubes,
I got the cubes.
and then I think I put everything else in the bag of holding.
You have everything, and I think I just pocketed the cubes, and I gave the rest of the lifetime back to you and stuff.
Okay, cool.
You got everything.
Okay. There was a brooch, and then there was a black pearl.
Oh, Black Pearl. Okay, yeah, I know what those 2 are. The brooch is called the brooch of shielding. You can basically not necessarily attune to it, but connect it to your body, pin it to whatever it is that you're wearing, and once a day, you can use your reaction to cast the shield spell.
Okay.
And then, I'm sorry, the Black Pearl is something called a Pearl of Power. This does require attunement, and you can, I believe, use it once a day, and you gain a 3rd level spell slot back. Or up to 3 levels of the spell. So you could get 3 first levels back, a 2nd and a 1st, or a 3rd.
Are the rest of us, like, because we're in camp for the night currently, correct?
Correct, yeah.
Are the rest of us kind of gathered around observing this?
Sure, if you guys want to be.
I would enjoy it to be.
Okay, yeah. You guys are in the just kind of relaxing.
At the same time, I want to take out the 2 cubes of material weapon, I believe they were.
Mm-hmm.
And I want to take one of them. And I want to place it down the middle of the sand circle.
Mm-hmm.
One of you guys can have these, but if you don't mind, I think I need a bit of range, a bit of variety in my combat.
Marcellus takes the cube he already has and just tosses it to him. I don't need it.
Oh, so I can have 3. Okay, sweet. Okay, I'll take it. Saoirse, Rain, do you?
I'm outside.
Oh, you're outside. Okay. Rain, do you require any more weapons, or can I just keep these for myself?
For now, I feel they would be better suited in your hands. But don't forget that we may be better suited in different scenarios. I guess what I'm trying to say is don't become too attached. Be willing to share, as my mother used to say. So he got another cube.
Yeah, so
You know what those other 2 cubes are?
are they all material weapon or no?
No, you're not sure what they are. You have the 2 cubes that you got from the wreckage. You're not sure exactly what they are and what they do.
Okay.
And you have Marcellus's martial weapon cube. So the martial weapon includes melee or ranged.
Okay. Well, I want to give the 2 cubes to Saoirse. I mean, not Saoirse. Sasha. So she can identify them. And I want to take Marcellus's cube and hold it to my chest, and kind of think, like great crossbow. Like I want something like really heavy hit and ranged.
Don't forget to turn around 3 times.
Marcellus, you get this.
I ignore him and. I actually, can I have a gun or no?
No, you're not.
Okay.
I mean, I guess you do know what a gun is from being from your world, but no.
Okay, so like the great crossbow is kind of the best weapon I can get out of this.
Oh yeah, you can get a heavy crossbow or a light crossbow or even a hand crossbow.
No, I'm gonna take a hand crossbow.
A hand crossbow, okay.
Yeah. And I don't know if I have enough time now, but my armor and my actual like Warforged body, it has basically modifiable.
Mm-hmm.
So slots pop in and out where I'm able to put weapons. But if I can, I want to take the night and kind of tinker with myself using my tinkering and smith's tools to kind of inlay the crossbow inside of my arm.
Yeah, well, you can definitely attach it to your forearm, the bow part, and you can have the trigger mechanism basically be whenever you kind of
flick the wrist,
flick the wrist, or you can whenever you kind of clench your fist when your forearm, you're just using your forearm muscle. So yeah, make a roll for me real quick. Actually, let me tell you what the other two are. The one cube is a +1 martial weapon cube. And the second is a shield cube, essentially.
Okay. Well, yeah. Well, okay. Well, if you guys don't need weapons, I would like to switch out the +1 for my warhammer. Just kind of do a little switcheroo.
Yeah.
Okay, so
I mean, everybody else has spells can be messed up on their end.
I don't want to be greedy, but like you guys have everything, and I have a hammer. Like I don't want to be greedy, but I'm taking all. I'm taking all these.
You're the martial class. You get to be greedy.
Yeah.
Okay, +1 warhammer. I'm gonna take a hand crossbow. You know what? I'm gonna take the shield too. Just actually no. Do one of you guys want the shield?
Don't need it.
Yeah. No, because I probably have the best armor due to like I have like heavy armor and then also my Warforged armor ability. So I don't know if the shield would be most useful for me.
Yes, but you're the least squishy of us all. So if anything, we're going to be chucking you to the most dangerous parts. So it's best if you have more protection.
Okay. I don't know if you guys like you're just I don't know how to take that, but I'll take the shield. Okay, so shield. And that leaves me with the one martial weapon cube that I just switched out from my hammer that's not +1, correct?
Oh yeah, you should have 2 martial cubes currently. The one from Marcellus and the one that you're swapping out.
Okay. Actually, can I turn them into short swords?
You want to make your gauntlet?
I make my gauntlets, yeah.
Okay. You can do one of the tinkerings tonight. You can do your gauntlet tonight, or you can do the crossbow tonight.
Do you both gauntlets or no?
Oh, do you want a short sword on each?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Then it would be 1 gauntlet per day.
Okay, in that case, I'm gonna switch things up. Okay. Okay, so heavy crossbow, or that martial cube, not hand crossbow. And then I'll just have a gauntlet on each arm. And I'll for today I'll just do 1 gauntlet and I'll have the heavy crossbow on hand.
Okay. Make a tinkering skill check, please.
What would that be?
Smithing. It's going to be a D20 plus your proficiency.
Okay. 16 and my proficiency
Should be a +2.
is yes, +2.
So 18, yeah. You definitely are able to make a gauntlet like you want. Short sword gauntlet.
Sweet. Nice. So like this gauntlet for the audience, it's basically it's a gauntlet that runs down the base of my forearm that can kind of shoot out a short sword blade from my arm. Looks cool.
Sweet.
Marcellus is going to turn to Rain. Leader, he says jokingly, can I talk to you outside for a moment?
Certainly.
We have about a week in their time here to get to the
Sea of Dreams.
Sea of Dreams.
Yes.
And in that time, we will be meeting with Triton.
Sounds like a certain possibility of it.
I've been talking with one of the tracking board, and the Triton aren't really friendly, as you can see. So, but they're familiar to the place I have been to. Might act like the way that my place would act like before. So, well, some advice would be helpful.
Well, there's one thing that I'm used to. It's dealing with people that I'm unfamiliar with and that may view me with some skepticism.
It's not skepticism. It's full-on hatred at this point. Only because that we are not them.
Well,
If they act anything like my people, they will see the worst in you. Oh, and all of us, really.
Well, if that's the case, then I suppose if we do end up coming across these folks, that we will need to move delicately, and perhaps, what you say is true, that we should go ahead and just avoid them altogether.
Yes. Mhm. Well, there might not be anything like my world, but there's a reason I do not wish to go back.
Yes. When the time comes, make sure that I'm aware of this when I'm into it. I do tend to forget things. I will make note of this, but I'm just, when the time comes, if it comes, and remember, this is an if, we will handle it in an appropriate manner. Rain just kind of touches the holy symbol on his chest and proceeds back to the main group.
Saoirse, anything else you'd like to do?
She's mainly just sitting outside looking up at the stars and, just looking around and still very much intrigued by this new environment and wanting to take it all in. But I feel like she's looking more up at the stars tonight and just off to herself.
Okay. So a few hours before dawn, where is everybody? I'm assuming Marcellus is sleeping.
I've done my meditation. I've done my meditation, and I'll be just chilling outside of the tent this time. I won't be
too
far off.
Crossfire, where will you be?
Yeah, I'll just be scarecrowing it, just kind of my unrestless sleep.
Okay. I mean, you it's probably like an hour before dawn, so you finish your long rest.
Okay, and then I'm up and at 'em, just kind of tinkering still throughout the night on my gauntlets, trying to everything right, oiling them up.
Okay. There is a large dune that is behind you. That's kind of the back of this valley, and you both see, since you're both outside, the two dragonborn that are on watch come running down, and they go by both of you, and they go inside. They're being pretty quiet. Are you guys going to follow them in, or are you going to just still wait outside?
Rain's gonna look at Crossfire. Watch where they came from. Give a holler if something happens, and I'm gonna follow them into the tent.
I give him like a little kind of hand signal, like yeah, I got this, and I brandish my new heavy crossbow, and kind of just it doesn't have a sight on it or anything, right?
It can if it wants, but it won't give you advantage or anything. You can design it however to look however you want it to.
Well, yeah, it's kind of made of the same dark wood that is found parts of my body, a bit of metal plating with a metallic kind of not ornate but kind of industrial looking sight on it. Like all my weapons kind of very manufactured rather than kind of elegant. I'm kind of just looking through that, just kind of waiting, just kind of. Are
you gonna go up the dune where they came from, or are you just gonna stand up?
Yeah, I'm gonna make my way up the dune.
Okay. We'll deal with Rain first. Rain, you see them two, the two dragonborn, and these two are the soldiers, not the crew. They definitely look panicked, but they're being more or less quiet and not waking anybody else up. They get Adrix up and start whispering to him. If you would like to hear, make a perception check, please.
Okay, perception check.
They are speaking Draconic.
I get proficiency. I add my proficiency bonus, right?
Yeah, if you're proficient in it.
Yeah. If I just click that roll on D&D Beyond, it does it automatically. Okay, then 11.
11? Don't worry. I'm not sure if you guys know, but the lowest you guys can roll for an active perception check is your passive perception.
Oh, that's neat. Okay.
Oh, God.
Yeah,
makes sense.
Yeah, it gets really funky. Look that up with, I think that was Jamie Crawford. I don't remember. Sage Advice. Anyways. So you basically get a 15 and you get bits and pieces. You hear, it's coming this way. Haboob. and we need to leave, essentially. Now, Crosswire, as your head just peeks over the crest of this dune, what you see is something from a Renaissance painting. What is your whole vision is covered up as there is a massive sandstorm moving towards you. The problem is that in this sandstorm, you can see that there are these massive tornadoes of fire just moving through the dunes. And there are flashes of lightning and thunder, and you can feel it in your body now, just this rumbling coming towards you. And if you'd like, you can make a perception check to get a better view.
I will do that.
Okay.
12.
Okay. Even with a 12, there is what makes this scene so epic. There is a massive humanoid that seems to be made of this fire that is in pretty deep into the sandstorm, but it seems to be fighting something. And through the flashes of lightning and the tornadoes twirling around, you see a familiar sight. The massive silhouette of an ancient blue dragon, as it seems to be fighting this giant fire humanoid.
How far away am I on the dune from the
miles? But the wind is picking up, sand is starting to blow, and it seems to be coming fast.
Okay.
And that's where we're going to end tonight's session.
Oh, I knew it. I knew it.
Wait. I look out upon the dune. Guys, we got company.
He says to himself because he's the only one.
I want to thank everyone for listening to today's episode of Main Quest Optional. Make sure to follow us on social media for updates and behind the scenes content. And remember to tune in next week to see what crazy adventures we get into next. Have a good week, everyone.